Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here at the Brownell Academy in Chicago. It's their annual event for an incredible host agency. It's a Virtuoso affiliated host. And I'm here with Carrie Dyer, who is the Chief Development Officer for Brownell. And we're going to talk a little bit about Brownell's preferred suppliers, preferred partners, and how they work with the travel agency. And of course, it's a host agency, so you got to make them all work together at one time. And we're going to talk to her about that and more on Insider Travel Report. Carrie, first of all, great to see you here.
Great to see you, James. Thanks so much for being here.
Now, tell us a little bit about your role as Chief Development Officer. What exactly is your function?
So I lead teams that include our partners team. We have a team of 2 that manage all of our partners, our marketing team of 3 for our marketing team, and then our advisor development team, which is a team of 2. And that's where our recruiting comes from, our training, our mentoring program, advisor success, coaching, development, all of that.
So you're actually doing the whole thing. I mean, you're from partners to travel advisors, right?
Correct. Yes.
And that's how you develop and grow sales for all your members, right?
Exactly. Yes. So the whole idea of development is that really our arm is really a lot of the revenue development that's coming into the company.
Now talk a little bit about, obviously, you're using some of the Virtuoso preferred suppliers, and I'm sure you have some of your own, right?
We do. We actually have our own program. It's a Partner Alliance program that certainly includes our Virtuoso partners. But there are many partners, too, that are not a part of a consortium at all. And that we have found, and through our travels, our agency is 138 years old. And so
sometimes that boggles the mind that it's I always think of, you're like, we're talking American Express and Thomas Cook here for Brownell, right?
Yes, absolutely. And so through our travels and our experiences, we have curated an entire additional list of our preferred partners.
So you had it even before, probably you had suppliers before Virtuoso had suppliers.
Maybe API. Well, here's a stat for you. Our Brownell was the first Virtuoso host agency.
I didn't know that till I read it, because I do know a lot of Virtuoso hosts, and I didn't realize that Brownell. I know that when did it start becoming a host?
Gosh, that's a great question. 1997.
Okay, so it was late in the game, because originally nobody was a host, and
No,
they were
weren't.
Although now we have the largest travel agencies are all hosts.
Correct. Yes, and we had employee advisors and we had independent contractors. Right. And then after COVID, we went entirely to independent contractors.
You are entirely ICs now. That's very interesting about the evolution of an agency that began, and you said in the late 1800s, and now the successful models are host agencies.
Correct.
Right?
Yes. People want to be their own businesses. They want to be entrepreneurs, and they strive for that. They're business owners, they're hugely successful, and yet they still want someone behind the scenes to help them with the preferred partners and to help them, part of the other half of what we do is all the operations and the support. So there's advisor success, there's advisor support, and that's the operations day to day and how we're digging in and helping our advisors.
Now, you have a lot of preferred suppliers. How do you get all these ICs to move and sell preferreds?
That is a great question. One, you have to have a diverse portfolio of the partners that you have. Not every client can spend $1,500 per person per day on a trip. And so we just try to have great diversity within the different destinations, the different hotel companies, the different cruise product, rep companies, all of it. And so as long as we have a variety there that gives people a choice. We do a lot of education. Brownell Academy is all about bringing
that's your conference, but it's also called Brownell Academy, so that's what they're learning. I talked to a travel advisor here who's selling family travel, and she's not as familiar with cruising, which surprised me somewhat, but she does all different other kinds of family travel. But here, she's listening to the cruise lines and partnering, right?
Correct. And actually, this used to be called our company meeting, and then we rebranded it to Brownell Academy in 2015 because it really is about education and learning and developing different skills. And so this is a huge part of how we are meeting partners. We do a lot of educationals, so that's our version of a fam trip, but we call it educationals because they are learning. And so we do a lot of exposure with that. trade shows, of course, and then our partners are very generous as far as the training that they will do in Zooms. We have our own proprietary sort of knowledge hub that's called Inside Brownell, and that's where all of the partner information is housed, which is very, very helpful for people. And then Slack, we use Slack. That's our internal communications.
Okay.
And that is where Brownell is putting out information, but more importantly, it's where all of our advisors are sharing information.
Okay, they share advisors about preferred suppliers they're selling and
Yes.
how to sell them better and all this kind of thing. That's great. That's really kind of
Yeah.
brings it together as a community. Now, you actually came from Four Seasons, right?
I did. That's where I first met Brownell. So I was at Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts for 14 years. And Brownell became my client in 2008. And it was just what I always appreciated about Brownell is how they treat their partners. And it was a very good mix of warmth and always feeling like you were a part of the community, and also very professional. They had better reports than I did when I came in on here's the production and here's how we want to grow. And these are the advisors that are booking you and these are the advisors that are not booking you. And so just this great mix of personalization and professionalism.
Well, give me an example. Using Four Seasons as an example, how do you develop that relationship between Four Seasons and all of your ICs?
Exposure. And do you know something so simple, James? We have a list of where all of our advisors are with all of their contact information that we continue to send to our partners because with host agencies, independent contractors are everywhere. And so it isn't about a partner coming to Birmingham, which is our headquarters. It's about them going to Austin, Texas, which is one of our largest contingents of independent contractors, advisors, New York. And so when these partners are out, we make sure that they know where all of our people are so that they're inviting them to any type of, entertainment or education. We don't want to stay in the middle. We want to be the connector to all of the partners that are there. The partner team, a team of two for the partners team. Another really important thing that the partner team helps with is that sometimes things don't go perfectly. Right. And so when things go bump, our partner team is there to support the advisor and to support the partner. There's always two sides to every story.
No, absolutely. And
right?
that's the key is I know how to adapt and how everybody when something goes wrong, you can go to that partner and get results and get a backup. And that's what clients appreciate more than ever.
Absolutely. And a lot of times too, it's, well, the transfer wasn't there for me. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. And then hey, what's the side of the story? What's happening in Rome? And they're like, well, we were very clear that it was Terminal 2 and your client was in Terminal 3. So those things. And again, there's two sides to every story, and it's balancing being the advocate for the partner and the advocate for the advisor as well.
Anything else you want to tell us about Brownell and its supplier relations?
I think the most important thing is that our partners are a huge part of what make us successful. And having that trust with the partners and our advisors doing their best to get the information to the partners. That's one of the things that we hear a lot is that when the RFPs come in, they're so well thought out and so very thorough from the advisors that it helps tee the partner up for success to have the most successful program for the travelers as well, because they're everybody's clients and everybody wants, a happy traveler and someone who's going to come back again.
Absolutely. Well, Carrie, great to see you here. We're going to be here for a couple of days since this is my first Brownell Academy. I've met your travel advisors, obviously at Virtuosos and all over the place, but it's been fascinating, and I still never get over the fact that you've been around since the end of the 19th century.
1887.
I know, my God.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Well, great to see you, and we'll look forward to seeing you the rest of a couple days.
Fantastic. Thank you for being here.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.